Hello, yep, it's me. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I've decided that I will. The reason I put a video out yesterday, a message out yesterday saying you weren't going to get a WNW Wednesday or World War One Wednesday was because I was planning to do the video this morning and I've been busy doing a lot of other stuff with garden, cars, stuff like that. I haven't had a chance to do I haven't done the World War One video. I thought I was going to do it this morning. Mum was coming round, but Mum has come round and gone. So I've got some time to try and put something together. How long this video will be, I do not know, but I hope you enjoy it, whatever it is. So this is going to be, as a lot of you suspect, the start of this one. Now, my intention is to build this out of the box, as instructed by Hasegawa. This model was very kindly bought for me by Charlie, thank you very much, and sent all the way from Australia. I know he's got one to build, it's next on his bench, so he'll be looking forward to seeing this and see how it comes together. So this will be the project for World War One Wednesday going forward. I'm also going to put some other stuff in as well, so because I think this is going to be a fairly lengthy build. And I think because of all the wood graining and everything, I think it's going to take me a lot of time, a lot of work. I'm thinking of the words to try and explain this. If you can imagine, it's going to be hours and hours and hours to do all this wood graining on these wings, but it's actually going to equal about 5 minutes video. So, you know, I think I'm going to have to do a lot of work off camera in the background and go from there. So this is really a build for the winter, I think, not the summer, but we shall see. So anyway, so first things first, going through the instructions, we've had a look, we've done the review, we've got all our bits and pieces, we know everything's there. So they're asking us to start on the engine, which is absolutely fine. I'm not going to do that yet. What I will do is glue these engine halves together and then leave them to dry, and then we can work on the cooling fins when the seam's all nice and hard and everything. Next thing is the engine firewall assembly, and as we know, this part here is pre-painted. Here, so what Hasegawa have done is pre-painted this silver. Now they're asking us to paint this in silver, which is number 8, I believe. Yes, silver, but they've done this silver plating and I don't like it. As you can see here, unless it's very soft moulding, I don't think it is. I think the paint is very thick because you can see like around these fasteners here and around these fasteners here, the paint is quite built up. You can see it's quite thick there. You can also see it's got an issue there. There's a funny sort of pattern going on with the paint there. So what I'm going to do is strip this, because as well we've got the fuel tank here, and as you can see on the finished model, the fuel tank is very visible, and that seam is going to be hard to eradicate, well, impossible to eradicate without painting it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the instructions to one side. I'm going to get this sprue and I'm going to put it in the in some oven cleaner. I'm going to use Mr. Muscle oven cleaner. But the first thing I'm going to do is remove the parts from the sprue and clean up the sprue gates and everything, because that way they will fit in a smaller bag and I won't be wasting oven cleaner on just stripping the sprue. So we'll get the parts off the sprue like so. So yeah, I hope some of you are glad this is here, because I know some of you, I know World War One stuff isn't a massive subject for a lot of you. A lot of you are into your jets and your World War II stuff and that. Here I'm going to leave these on the sprue just for fear of losing them. So I'm going to leave these on the sprue. In fact, I'm going to look and see what they are. I may even leave those plated. But these other parts we can get off. So yeah, I hope some of you are glad this is finally come. As I say, I didn't think I was going to be doing one this week, but here we go. Even if it's only 20 minutes, then it's better than nothing, isn't it, guys? Gives you something to watch on a Wednesday. As I say, I know a lot of you look forward to it. Some of you may not have even seen the message I put out, so you may be sort of surprised to say that there wasn't going to be one. So anyway, I'm going to go and get these off, get them all cleaned up, and then I'm going to get them in a bag. Alright, so there we go, we got all our parts off the sprue now already. Be careful with these bits here, you can see these little raised bits on here, they're not actually sprue gates. But what it is good, this silver paint, it really does highlight any areas where there's a little raised lip or a raised edge or something. And you can just take that off. And it's really good, because you probably wouldn't see it in plastic, you probably wouldn't see it until you get your aluminum paint or whatever you're going to use on there. So there we go. See, there's a bit of a mould seam along the edge of there, and that's gone now. That's really cool. So that's good. Right. You'll notice on the cowl I've sanded most of the silver paint off. There was a big mould seam here. This is for Charlie for doing yours. There's a big mould seam here, and there's like a mould line around here. It's like it's a two-piece mould or something. You can see the line on the inside. There's a line going round. I'm not going to worry about these ejector pin marks in the back of there because they're not going to be seen. In fact, I may go in there with something and just take them. No, you're never going to see those. I've just noticed there's a bit of flash in the bottom of there, so I'm just going to remove that. And there we go. I may also come in from behind and just remove some material from the back, just to sort of thin it out slightly. But, and then come in with a sanding sponge just to clean up, just like so. Again, you can see we've got a bit of an edge up the top there. So get rid of that. There we are. Job done. Okay, so what we can do now is get all this into a, I'm really not happy with that. I got a little piece of 1200 grit and rolled it up so I could get in there and just clean that up, because I had quite rough edges in there. Okay, so what we can do now is look at stripping this. Now I said I'm going to use oven cleaner. Something I've never tried in the past, but I know a lot of people do use, is bleach. So here I've got some Asda Just Essentials thin bleach, and I've got an old Chinese takeaway container here. So all of this can go in here. I was going to leave those 3 parts on the sprue because the oven cleaner forms like a thick white foam. I thought I might lose them, but with the bleach being clear, I'll just leave them. So I'm going to pour this out on the bench, and if we spill anything, then we spill some. This sheet could do with changing anyway. So I'm just going to pour some in here, just so they're submerged. There we go. Whoops. Get that lid back on there. There we are. Okay, and then I'm going to find a stick or something and just push all this in so that it's submerged. Got parts floating, I don't know why, they're plastic, they shouldn't be floating. I guess they're floating because they've got a hollow in them, so we need to get that hollow, get the air out of it. It's all fun and games, isn't it? Right, so we will leave that for a few hours and see what happens. In the meantime, we will look at something else. Just want to get that off of there because I want this to be submerged and I don't want it sitting up on top of other parts. There we go. I can see something happening. This silver is starting to, yes, it's coming off already, look. Brilliant. It's actually, you can see the, on the backs of the parts, it's coming off, not on the fronts, which is a bit strange. So there we go. You can see it coming off here, look. It's just dissolving. It's not sort of flaking off or, that's crazy. Anyway, we'll leave that for a few hours. We'll see how it looks. I'm just going to put that over there. Put the top on. Put the top on like that. In fact, I'll just lift one corner so it doesn't explode, just in case it's giving off some expansive gas. I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to put it in the bathroom out of the way. Put it in the sink just in case. And then I'll... Okay, so looking here, part 1 of the instructions, we've got to build up the rotary engine. So that's on that black sprue. So we're going to get, notice I take all the sprues out together. Don't ever try and slide one sprue out because that's when things get hooked up and things start getting broken. So we've got our black sprue. This is sprue G. So somebody was saying in the comments last week that this is a very old kit. I've forgotten to look, actually. I need to look on ScaleMate. But I don't mind. It's an old kit. It's bloody lovely, and it's so different. It really will, you know, even if it's not accurate, even if it's not well detailed, I think it really will take pride of place in any modelling display, and I'm hoping it's going to fit in my cabinet, and then I can put my World War I memorabilia stuff with it. If not, I'm going to have to get a bigger cabinet, because you do not want this thing collecting dust, I can assure you. Right, so we have pins here to aid assembly. I'm not sure if it matters which way around this goes, but the pins are offset by the look of it to make you build it in such a way so where that finger is there and where that finger is there needs to align. So the parts will go together like that. And I must be honest, they do line up beautifully. I am just going to get a sanding stick. Where are those pins? There's one there, one there. So I'm just going to gently go over. I'm not going to remove the pins, because what I don't know without studying, I don't know if there's any, you know, if it has to go together a particular way. So we're just going to gently sand, and we can see on there that what they've done, they've got the actual edges where the fins are slightly raised. So you're guaranteed to get a really nice joint when it's glued together. So blow the dust off of there. So again, we've got my two fingers there are where the pins are. My two fingers there are where the holes are. So that's not right. That's right there, like that. Yeah, this looks all symmetrical. I don't understand why you would have to put it a certain way, but we'll stick with it. We'll stick with the plan. Okay, I'm going to grab a clothes peg if it will reach. Just hold it like that, and then I can manipulate it to get a really nice join to save the cleanup on these cylinders. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is do each cylinder individually, because you can see I can move that one independent of the others. So I think what I'm going to do, if I grab some tweezers and then use the wide part of the blade, we can squeeze like that. I'm going to grab my Tamiya extra thin. I'm going to concentrate on these cylinders more than anything else. If I could have some glue on the brush, please, that would be nice. So it's currently Wednesday and it is 5:15, so it's 2 3/4 hours before you're seeing this, and what are we, a few minutes in, so I think this is going to be a fairly short video, guys. I'm sorry, but at least it's something. At least it's something. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the design of that brush, it won't go down in there, so I'm going to use a paintbrush. This will give the brush a very good clean. I'm going to use the paintbrush to get down into there to make sure we get glue all the way down that cylinder wall. Okay, and then, as I say, get the tweezers, squeeze like that. Just leave that together. I'm tempted, I want to clamp it, but the trouble is when you clamp it, sometimes you can push it out of line. Let's see what happens. You see the pegs when you open and close them. That's why I've got these wooden ones, and I pinch the idea. You can see I put these in the milling machine and changed the shape of them. We've got these bits of wood on the side that stops them doing that. And I pinch this from oh, what's his name? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. What is your, I can't remember the name of your channel. Somebody put it in the comments down below. I know you know it. It describes a shell being fired from a ship and dropping onto another ship. So it's like a vertical shell rather than horizontal. Drop charge, drop shell. I'm sorry, sir, I can't remember your name. He's a fantastic modeler. What I'll do, I'll put a link in the description below this video. If I forget, please tell me in the comments. I'll put a link. Drop fire scale model. No, I'll put a link in the description below this video to his channel. He's building a model ship at the moment. I'm not sure if he is solely a ship modeler. He's doing the IGN Mikasa in 1/200 scale, and he is one hell of a modeler. He's brilliant. I really enjoy watching him. And I think it is drop fire scale models. Anyway, I got this idea from him. If ever I pinch someone's idea, I always try and credit them. I wish other people would do the same, but they don't, unfortunately. So we'll just do these three, let them dry. I don't want that one. I want another one of my special pegs. Where's my special pegs gone? I have a drawer to my right and it's just full of different types of pegs and clamps and all sorts. And yes, my Rebel hobby clamps are in there. There we go. So that's those three done. So we'll leave that to dry. Right, what can we do next? I don't want to build the whole engine. I just want to get these cylinders together and then work on those seams so they look lovely. And then we can do all this this lovely plumbing and everything. They're telling us to tie it around the spark plugs here. Look. Get those spark plugs painted nicely as well. So they're saying 8 for 80% and 28 for 20%. 28 is steel and silver. Are they the spark plugs? No, they're the rocker arms. Where's the spark plugs? No, they are the spark plugs. Strange. I'd have thought they'd been white. Anyway, I'll do some research. I'm going to get the Wings instructions out. So what I'm going to do now is look forward here. And this is where we're going to have to start doing wood graining. So this is going to be all wood grain, this is going to be all wood grain, and all of this is going to be wood grain. I'm tempted to concentrate on one step at a time. Otherwise, I'm just going to get absolutely sick and tired of doing wood grain. For instance, when I come here, that is going to be like a week's work. But I'll be able to get these two assemblies up. I think it will look great. So I think what I'm going to do is get this part off here. Now, sprue E is the one with the propeller on it. So that's going to be in another bag. So I'll get the sprue out and then we'll get the parts off. Okay. Plunging fire scale modelling was what I was trying to think of. So there we are. Just notice as well on here there's a mark there, so that could be why the engine has to be built a certain way around. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So, moving on. I've put these two parts here together, G8 and G1. You can see I've put those together because they're going to need to be nice and hard and ready to go when we need them. So, going over the page, foot bar control column assembly. As I said, I'm going to get this sprue and we're going to get some wood grain painting done, which won't be done in today's video because, as I say, it is now 5:30. So it's 2.5 hours until this video has to go out. So on E13, and then I'm going to spray these in a wooden deck tan colour and then do the oil stuff all over them. I want E4, which is there, and I want E7, which is there. I think that's it. That's all the wood graining, and then we've got this piece here which is E10. Are they telling us here what colour to paint that? They're not, are they? The floor, please refer to the paint attachment figure painting. Please refer to the attachment figure painting. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they mean. Right, so I've got this here. I'm assuming this is going to be wood. There we go. So here, yeah, they're not telling us to paint any of this. I wonder what they mean. Please refer to the figure. Let's have a look and see if I can find out what they're talking about. Right, so I think what they mean here, please refer to attachment figure painting. Don't worry, I shouldn't be laughing because their English is a lot better than my Japanese, I can assure you. What we're referring to is here, an instrument panel and floorboard are wood brown. After painting, please paint clear orange 49. So, so yeah, we can see okay, the instrument panel and floorboard are wood brown. After painting, please paint clear orange. So they want us to do the actual floorboards here and the actual instrument panel itself brighter than the rest of the model. You can see here, there's the instrument panel and there's the floorboards. So they want that to be a brighter coloured wood. So I'm going to have to, you see here they're telling us to paint. It looks like on here they're telling us to paint this wooden frame in an RLM sand yellow colour. Let me just have a look a minute and I'll come back rather than have you just sat there listening to me mumble. Okay, so that's, I've put it away, I've wrapped it back up in its plastic bag. I think I'm going to have to put it on the wall or something so I can refer to it. But yes, it's quite confusing. So it looks like they're telling us to paint the actual main frame of the aircraft with this sandy yellow colour, but do the floor in a wood brown. I don't know. So I'm going to get these cleaned out. There's a sprue gate there, a big one that can come off. I'm going to get these cleaned up, and then we'll talk about how we're going to paint them. They're cleaned up. So I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually wood grain the whole model because I want it all to look like wood, and I'm going to try and get different shades going on as well. The other thing I've noticed, this floor here, this is the upper part, and then this is the lower part, and we've got ejector pin marks all along here. Now I believe, looking at the model, it looks like this is the bottom of the aircraft and there's going to be nothing covering it up. So you can see we've got these panels here. Let's get those decals out of there. We've got these panels here and they go back. That panel there is going back as far as there by the look of it. So looks like this area here is covered up, so that's fine. Those parts are in the bleach. No, that one is anyway. That panel there is on the sprue over here, but this here is all going to be exposed because this is actually sitting, I think, like that. I think that's going to sit sort of behind and next to this area because pilot's controls are here, look. So I want to actually get rid of those ejector pin marks there. I don't think these are going to matter. We also need to glue this in here. We've got this part here. Go back to the instructions. We have this part here, E4, that is going to glue up into there. It's a very loose fit. I don't think it's going to really matter because it's not going to be seen. It's underneath the seat, I think. I'm going to grab my my Albatross Productions Sopwith Camel book, which I'd forgotten I had until just now, and that'll be a good guide to get us going. But they are basically just, all these are going to do, they're the runs for the cables to go through. So get some more cement in there, make sure that's nice and solid. There we are. Okay, so yeah, looking at the assembly, yeah, it looks like this is going to sit like that, and then this is going to sit up inside the fuselage. So these ejector pin marks is going to be that way up, sorry. These ejector pin marks here could be visible, so we will fill them in. So I'm going to use, this is the Ammo Black Slow Dry glue, and I'm only using this up because I don't like using it as a glue because it's very, very stringy and it makes a mess. You can see when you pick it up, you can see on there when you pick it up it strings like crazy, and it can be quite messy to use. So I'm now using it rather than using my VMS. I'm using this now for ejector pin marks, and that way when you're doing it for ejector pin marks, you're actually going to be sanding it away anyway. So if you do get a great big string hanging off the side of it, then it doesn't matter because you're going to be sanding anyway. So we have some there, we have one there. As I say, you don't need to do this, I don't think, because it's probably not going to be very visible. But the problem is when you start doing wood graining with oils, it will pick up on any single feature that's there that shouldn't be there. So we need to be very careful of that. So that can go like that, and then we got one more here, and the final one. Oh no, there's one more, one there. I really don't think this is going to be visible. There we go. So there we are. So that's that. That can be left to dry. I won't use accelerator because when you use accelerator, the super glue can become all aerated. And as I say, all of this here is going to be covered in, so I'm not going to worry about those. So we'll put that to one side for a rainy day, and I am going to have to call it a day there, guys. In fact, what I'll do, I'll go get my parts and see how they're doing in the bleach. Okay, so here we go, and it looks like it's bleached the paint, and there is literally nothing left. There's a couple of spots on there, that's weird, but the paint is gone. What I'm interested to see, yeah, you see the deep, we've got more defined rivet detail now. So if we put a nice thin coat of primer on there and then spray it with an aluminium paint, you can see on here we've got lovely sharp details on these panels. So this can go, this bleach can go back into the, in fact I'm going to leave it a little bit longer because there's still a few little spots. It's a bit weird how the spots stay behind, isn't it? See the spots on there? Spots of silver paint. Weird. We've got some brown bits as well, is that? Don't know if that's in the plastic or what. See, there's a spot of silver in there that won't come out, but we'll leave it and see what happens. Maybe if we give it a bit of a finagle with a cocktail stick. Nope, don't want to know it. It's made that stick turn white. Yeah, it needs a bit longer, I think, just to make sure we get in all the nooks and crannies. So I think what I'll do is put that lid back on, give it all a bit of a shake around, and leave it at that. So those parts are stripped. I've got a lovely light grey plastic to work with, and all the seams and everything are all cleaned up. So I'm going to go on and do some more work on my engine, get some more cylinders glued together, and I will see you all next week for another one, and we'll hopefully have a nice hour-long video for you. And I will be concentrating on this area here and all these lines. It's going to be nice, isn't it? I think we're going to have to get a bag or something and put all them in, and then sellotape the bag to the back of the floor so it keeps it all neat. But I'm really looking forward to this, and apparently somebody did comment last week. They've built this model, and apparently these control cables do work. You can actually move the column and move the control surfaces, so that is going to be astounding. So I'm going to say once again a massive thank you to Charlie. I'm going to say a big sorry if I misled you with my video last night, or comment last night about not having a WNW Wednesday this week. But as I say, my mum left earlier than I thought she would, so we had some time to put a video together. So I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching, and sorry it's been a short one. See you next week. Bye for now.